Hello, everybody. It's your girl, DAZZLE, and I am back for another tarot reading. So please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. If you guys would like to book a private reading, all you have to do is hit me up at jellome123@gmail.com. So while people are coming in, I might as well go ahead and do some pleasantries. Let's talk about my week. Well, my month of March has been very productive. It's been a lot of self-work, tending to self-care and all types of good things like that. So that's what I've been doing. I feel really comfortable. I feel happy. I feel like I'm ready to start my journey. And next week, I am going to be getting married, all right? So it's some good things coming up. So anywho, let's talk about this live. Okay, so I did a pre-recorded, like a pre-reading, and it was like pre-recorded, and it was about Kirk Franklin and his son, Kerrion, right? So basically, if you guys don't know what's going on with them, out of nowhere, nobody at all asked for this, but out of nowhere, Kerrion Franklin, I guess that's his last name, started trending because he released an audio that he, behind his father's back, recorded of them arguing. And basically, the audio is Kirk Franklin just going off, just dragging his son. And from there, we get Kirk Franklin just coming out and saying, well, having to apologize to his fans, but never apologizing to his son. And basically his son saying whatever he's saying. Then all of a sudden, Kirk Franklin and his wife goes on Tamron Hall. Then you have Kerrion's mother on the radio station and Kerrion's half-sister speaking, all of them speaking out against Kerrion. And then you have a whole leaked recording of Kerrion arguing with a female that he was talking to or friends with and her gay friend. And basically they were arguing. He was calling himself the devil and everything else like that. And apparently the gay guy and the female, they were already having conversations about, oh, he acts like he has been the R word before. So they were thinking that that's what happened. So basically what they did was taunted him by turning on, Kirk Franklin music while they're arguing. And he was like, oh, really? And basically was like, oh, so basically that's my molester, or the M word. I just already said that. I'm trying to not say those words, right? So basically that's what happened. So then it was like, oh, I knew it, and then the audio goes off. So basically we're here, and during my pre-recorded reading, basically what I basically said was, it's so crazy because what's up? I'm in here. What's up, boo? How you doing? How you feeling tonight? It's one of those sober nights. I told you guys I was sober, right? I wasn't drinking or nothing. So it's one of those nights where I'm drinking water. Anywho, so basically in my pre-recorded reading, girl, I'm just going through the pleasantries and the background story right now. But basically in my pre-recorded reading, oh, you good? That's what's up. It's nice to know that everybody's okay. It's nice to know that people are actually, just content, just happy, But yeah, so my pre-recorded reading, what I got basically out of it, this whole situation so far, is that Kerrion, this was his way, because I left these cards out. This was his way of basically standing up for himself, in a sense. And he took everything to the internet. Like this card right here tells me that he made sure this was his way to take everything to the internet. But of course, he is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, they're just, going straight at it. Direct communication, quick communication. But it can come across as overbearing or like domineering in a sense, and reckless. So yes, he was going through some reckless communication. Okay, and it's all online. This is all online, and he was dead serious. And, I was basically saying that was him with this whole inner child crying An inner child is crying, right? But then also what I didn't hint at that I wanted to talk about, and I also talked about the fact that both parties are wrong, him and his dad, right? I also talked about that. I'm just going over the pleasantries so I can get into this reading, right? And we can talk about things in depth, right? Because what I did do was say both of them are wrong, like I said. It's some lies and some deceptions, and we're going to have to wait a while to actually see everything unfold. And to be honest with you, his dad can be vindictive, can speak very nasty. Kirk Franklin is vindictive, and he has a very nasty tongue, okay, when he wants to, okay? So honestly, these are both people's fault. But what I did want to point out is that, look, not only with this Nine of Wands that was in reverse, that I was saying that, they are putting themselves in a position where it's no coming back from. That's what I was basically saying. But it also talks about being psychotic. And then there's this new moon card again that says, like, that's the only time frame card. That's 2 weeks time that you have to literally like wait around, and within 2 weeks or whatever, and you'll really see some stuff, the real issues going on, right? So really, but also with the moon, this talks about mental illness too. I wanted to address that as well. So you have the psychotic card and mental illness. So that's what they're probably not saying. But in the same token, they're both at fault, right? Because it's the way he treated him, because he is treating him a certain way. But also with him, he needs to like grow up a little bit and seek help and counseling, right? So let's get into some good shit then, since we already done passed all those pleasantries and I went over my spread that I had from earlier. Let's talk about the fact that, look, when I seen all that, including his mother and everybody else say what they were going to say, the first thing I said was, this is why I don't like church people. Because what people don't know, a lot of people who hold on tight to the Bible need to, right? Because a lot of times they hide their true colors behind the Bible. They hide their crazy behind religion. And most of the people who really need religion are fucked up people. You said yes. So a lot of people who need religion, they need to stay close to it because they're fucked up. That's why, you have, like, I consider like the church like AA, right? Or like Alcoholics Anonymous. Just think about it like that, right? The people who are there need to be there. So, because if they was not there, it's some crazy people. And when I see Kirk Franklin as the King of Swords in reverse, I know he needs some religion. He needed. And it's so crazy because, I got folks who act like that. Like, they'll be like, well, my kids can't hang around your kids because your kids would taint my kids. And the only reason why they would taint them is because they live in the hood. But my kids, live in the plush area, in a rural county or whatever the case may be. And, they're holier than thou and they don't watch cartoons and stuff. So your kids, because they watch cartoons and listen to music that your kids can't listen to, they can't hang around them. And basically it kind of separated people. In a sense, it made a disconnect in a sense, because what they would do is when they would come over, the kids would have to stay in the car, but they can come in the house. So basically you refuse those kids time with their grandparents and time with their aunts and uncles and time with their cousins. So, but swear to God, they're righteous. That was messed up, because what happens is you cause a rift in the family. So then you have some cousins who don't vibe with the other cousins because the other cousins feel like they're more, what is that called? Like anointed or whatever the case may be. But it's kind of weird. And then when I look at that, I look at Kerrion and I'm like, well, Kerrion must have felt that way when it comes to his dad. right? And I kind of feel that way. And then when I think about it too, I know his mom is going to be the one who reels him in. But I also see this table, and it's like it's having a seat at the table. That's his problem. He wants a seat at the table. You said amen says true that yes. But I feel like also that's another thing because it was a quick reading, right? So please look at the reading beforehand that I did too. And I might even play it. But now when I actually start looking at it, I feel like he wanted a seat at the table too. So let's see. Let's see what I get with the Mystic Mondays Tarot. Okay? Because then we're going to start talking about the abuse and everything else. So I want to know why? Because why was his mother... No, let's start with the little sister, right? Why is the little sister so, like, on defense? Because he has a problem with their dad, and he's airing out their dad. And here's the thing, though, because that's what I understand about half-siblings. I would never tell my half-sibling how to come at her dad or how to come at our mom about how she ever felt. That don't sound right, right? I wouldn't even take sides in that situation. But she's taking sides, and I don't care how bad it is. And even if it is mental illness or if he's on drugs or mental illness, because she alluded to, oh, he's on crack, right? And I'm like, ooh, so you wanted to say he's on crack to make sure, and you're laughing and kikiing, but y'all supposed to be up here, and he's supposed to be down here, right? So I felt like that was kind of weird in a way, right? So let's see. What was her energy in that live that she did, the little sister? Then we're going to keep on going. We're going to run down. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so she was matching him with the same energy. Because remember I said he was the Knight of Swords. You have the Knight of Swords right here. Well, in this deck, it's the Prince of Swords, which equals to the Knight. So she was matching some energy because he was out there, right? He was all over these internet streets. And basically, it's like, it's no chaos here. I mean, it's no peace here. This is all troubled water. And this is all verbal. This is all communication. This is all how we think, right? This is all air, right? So now it's like we in all this turbulent, chaotic energy, right? In the Hermit, right? But then there's a thing of this. It's the energy with the Hermit is not listening to better counsel because it's on the reverse. Okay, so I'm pretty sure people told her not to go online and match him with the same energy. But she did, right? But it also speaks about depression. So, and then it also speaks about being in a situation where it's though you're not realizing what you're doing, but you're driving that person away. And you wonder why y'all don't have a good relationship. So I feel like, first of all, she shouldn't have went on live to talk about anything. First of all, it's not her fight. And then not only that, she isn't realizing that her energy that she matched with him only drove him away or mentally over the edge further. But I think she's like, when in Rome, do what Romans do. So, so she like, I'm gonna match you with that same energy, crackhead. She made sure to call him a crackhead in that, right? And the whole advice card is obviously is this Emperor. Obviously, she's taking up for her dad. The Emperor is the father figure, the authority, all that type of stuff. But the advice card is, baby, you needed to stand down because your dad is wrong as fuck too. Right? So he's in the reverse too. So he is petty. He could be vindictive. He had this in the reverse as well, this king of swords. So you want to take up for your daddy and stuff, but you don't know the whole thing. Matter of fact, you already have a seat at the table. And at this point, you know, You just needed to be quiet and try to handle matters in-house instead of meeting him with the same energy, because it didn't help with nothing. And to be honest, like, all of them are just, like I said, with this Nine of Wands from the earlier reading, they're taking positions that they can't come back from. Okay? So that's the sad part. The influence is the Ten of Pentacles. His family don't like his lifestyle. Remember I told y'all how these church people do you? How they feel like, oh, because they're holier than thou, and basically because you live a certain life, they can't fuck with you. It's a reason why that man ain't got their address. It ain't just because he acts Naz. It's because they don't fuck with his lifestyle, with this Ten of Pentacles, okay? She judges him too. Okay, which is kind of messed up. That's why she was like, crackhead, you know. So basically, it's kind of funny because I feel like she calls him that a lot behind his back. Okay. And then there's the Magician right here in the reverse. Like, you got to be careful what you manifest, you know, because technically all she's manifesting is more chaotic energy for him. So if he's really on drugs and if he really has a mental illness, guess what? You're manifesting more drama. That's for one. And then also, we also have to understand that the trickster spirit is the Magician in the reverse. That's a trickster. So obviously she's not keeping it all the way 100 either. That's the crazy part. But then you have the Six of Pentacles, right? So it would not, I also feel like, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. But here's the thing. She gets what he doesn't get. So it's not surprising that she would take up for this Emperor in the reverse, because she gets what he doesn't get. He doesn't get what she gets, okay? This person right here, this Knight of Swords that's out here, does not get what she gets. So all the good stuff that her father has done for her is not all just about money. It's about your placement within the family, like how you feel, you know. And in a sense, like, it could very well be his daddy chose another woman and her daughter and had kids by her, and that's his new family. That's his righteous, Christ-like family. And, you know, and there's almost a sense of a controlled thing. Like, this is his bubble. And the fact that he has a son before he became Christ-like or holier than thou, it doesn't match up with what his lifestyle is now. Like some of my family members who are like that, you know, that's exactly what they do. They will disown you because you don't match up with their lifestyle, you know, that type of thing, all right? And what they would do is they would deny their actual family and actually love on their wife and their wife family. So their wife's mom, they get to be comfortable in the assisted living place, or they can live with them, and, you know, their kids call her Nana and all this other stuff. But their mom gets to live in the hood, and her water and lights can be cut off. That type of stuff. You say yes, all of them. It's so funny. It's so funny to me. But it's supposed to be Christian. And in the back of this is, look, yeah, you wanted peace. But of course, it was for her to date an issue. But the Five of Wands in reverse is not always the end of it. It's just that everybody's going in their perspective corners to lick their wounds, agreeing to disagree. So what I'm just going to assume based on that is, guess what? Battle lines have been drawn. You see these lines? They have been drawn. Everyone picked a side. Pick a side, pick a side. That's what that sounds like to me. And they picked a side where the money resides. That's what they did. Okay, so based on that energy over there, right? And I'm going to keep using the Mystic Mondays. Okay, so let's get to this. Why did his mother go on the radio and defend Kirk Franklin and not her son? Because at the end of the day, they're both wrong. So why did she go on radio to defend Kirk and not her son? Because Kirk I hear you. I get the same thing from one of my siblings. Holy Ghost filled, but I'm good. Basically. It's very funny, though, because, Christians, they are the most judgmental. You get somebody who swear to God that they're righteous, they are the most judgmental, and they treat you the worst. And it's fake. I even had a coworker, right? The craziest thing ever. Okay. You didn't mind me doing tarot readings on you, but but the whole time you want to say, oh, well, that's not of God, but you're asking me to do tarot readings for you. Or, where does it say in the Bible about spirituality? And if it doesn't say anything and it doesn't say spirituality, then it's bad. And da-da-da, like a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you was like, and you're like, okay. So then, obviously, like one day, I called her because I was trying to see if she was coming in, and the whole time she was at the gym, and she was obviously telling her trainer that I read tarot. So the first thing her trainer did was take the phone from her and get on the phone and be like, oh, Jesus loves you and this, that, and the third. I'm like, nigga, oh, okay, what are you saying? Oh, it scared you, didn't it? I'm like, that was very rude and disrespectful. And not of anything, if you really thought that was you saying stuff or trying to make me feel away, it actually made me feel like y'all are jerks. So I kind of felt like, okay, that lets me know that that's some jerk ass shit. Like, you're a jerk. Like, I just kept thinking that, like, oh, so Christians, I'm pretty much right about that, is a jerk. They're jerks. And they're very evil. And there's a reason why they're so close to the Bible. Because there's something wrong with them. A lot of them that's really close to the Bible and want to judge you. They're close to the Bible because something wrong with them. But anyway, because they need the Bible. But anyway, let's ask about his mama. Like, why was his mama, like, just having Kirk Franklin back? Like, why take up for Kirk and not take up for Kerrion? If I was her, I wouldn't have took up for neither. I would have cursed them all out. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay. And this one just slid out. It's that Christian influence. You ready? And his mama comes right back out again as this Queen of Pentacles right here. And I'm going to tell you what's going on with this, right? So in the past, this is what the Princess of Pentacles in the reverse. This is saying, look, this is saying that you signed contracts, signed up for stuff, and didn't read the fine print, all right? So this means that, look, you had a baby by somebody and didn't read the fine print of that person, right? Like, didn't get any history behind this man, right? Because, people like to say mental illness just come out of thin air. And if you want to call your son mentally ill, where is he getting the traits from? So this is you laying down, busting it open, having a baby by a man, and not checking the facts. It's like you signed a contract and you didn't check the small fine print of that contract. Oh, you got what you wanted. You got the relationship, you got the baby for that time, but you didn't actually see the extra stuff you were supposed to look at, because that was the red flag, the things that you needed to know. Okay. How Kirk was, you knew, but what you didn't realize is that shit was going to come downhill and go to his son. Justice Williams, what's up, baby? Hello. I love your hair. Oh, thank you. Girl, I gotta take this out next week because I have to get my hair done for my nuptial agreements, for my ring exchangement for my ceremony, for my wedding. Yeah. So the hanged woman. Now this is so funny because we're talking about a woman. And the hanged woman is, look, you're in this position right now where you have to look at things from a different point of view. But why do you have to look at things from a different point of view? This is a waiting period. This is you having to bend your beliefs to make things go right. That NDA. You said that NDA. Thank you. But this is bending your beliefs to make things go right. You know what I'm saying? To have peace. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in this future position, you know, this is this Ace of Wands. She does things to get things. Did y'all realize how she was talking? I hope y'all remember how she was talking on the radio. Because I should have paused this reading and let y'all hear how she was talking. But look, how she was talking on that interview, it sounded like she was talking that way in hopes of getting some type of recognition, some type of reward. It's nothing to do. It has more to do with her and some type of recognition and some type of reward, some type of benefit than it does with helping her son, who may or may not have mental illness, allegedly, or may not be in distress. Apparently, it looks like he's in distress, you know. So it's more so you doing things. Oh, I wonder why. Now, here's the thing. With this advice card is to leave things that does not emotionally serve you anymore. You need to leave this alone when it comes to Kirk Franklin. This is like leaving things alone that does not emotionally serve you, but wanting to stick around because you feel like there's something there that will help or that will benefit you emotionally. I wonder if what she's getting out of this situation, to be honest. Did she have to go on a radio station and basically pick a side? No, she didn't. It's not making the situation any better. Matter of fact, if y'all cared about y'all's son, why are y'all picking sides? You know what I mean? Even it can be a struggle, but it sounds like everybody done gave up on Kerrion, and they more so worried about the good graces of Kirk Franklin and looking good for the church. Like, you see this owl, it's like you got pews and you have like this owl, and it's like it's about church, right? And basically, I'm like, you need to put religion aside and go get your son some help. Right? But you don't want to do that because you have to look a certain way and you have to come off as righteous. And then not only that, you have to come off a certain way for Kirk Franklin. The influence is the Hierophant, Christianity, the physical embodiment of a religious organization. Okay, conforming. Okay, what is that? What else is that? Appropriation. All types of things like that. Okay. This is all about, I'm a Christian. I'm with my set. And I'm righteous. What my son is doing is making us look bad. And it's very unchristian-like in the things that my son is saying. And even though he has mental illness, it still makes us look bad. It does not fit the cookie cutter lifestyle that we're in, right? It does not fit the good shit that we're in, right? The heavenly shit, the All Father shit. It doesn't fit it. And it doesn't help that, look, I have a seat at the table. Like, remember I said this matriarch card that she has to reel him in? She's doing this because she has some type of seat at this table. And that's why you have this Queen of Pentacles, right? But the obstacle is she needs to have self-care too, because guess what? The Queen of Pentacles is about self-care, right? The Queen of Pentacles is about doing, managing yourself, right? She needs to leave that emotional situation or whatever she thinks she's getting out of being Kirk Franklin's baby mama and being in the church. She needs to be more worried about what works for her, right? Because this is I wouldn't even say this is saving face. Not for her son, but yes, this is saving face for the church. And the problem is with this star card in the reverse, I feel bad. Hey, Miss Waverly Case Boo. Hey, I feel bad because that's in the reverse. That's two things. That means that, look, everything is aligned for reconciliation. Okay? His mom, these people are literally putting themselves in a position where their family will stay broken. Okay? Picking sides, saying things like crackhead, all types of stuff. Not owning up to their shortcomings as well. It's like you're dropping the ball. It's like the ball is right here. The court literally been lowered. The fucking rim thingy that you throw the court inside the basket. Yeah, the basket. The basket has been lowered. All you have to do is walk up to the basket with the ball and throw the ball in, right? Because it's supposed to happen. The reconciliation is supposed to happen. But you have to work for it. And that's something that they don't want to do. They don't want to reconcile. They want to pick sides. They want to pick sides and not take accountability for everybody's action. Because here's the problem, right? More than one truth can exist at the same time. Is it true that Kerrion's an ass for recording his daddy without him knowing, and knowing with the history of people recording people without them knowing, that they're not going to say certain things or they're going to cut things out to make the other person look bad, right? Things like that and blasting it online. Was that like a childish thing to do? Yes. A lot of people who trauma bond with Kirk Franklin talking about sometimes you got to curse your kids out. Or we all been cursed out before. That doesn't make it right. Right? That is the truth, but don't make it right. That don't make it healthy. Y'all talk about therapy and stuff. How did y'all get into therapy? No one's saying that. So obviously something did happen that made Kerrion feel left out or made him feel some type of way. And that can be true. The mental illness can be true. You know what I'm saying? So all of this can be true at the same time. Could he be a spoiled brat? Yeah, that can be true. All these things can be true at the same time, but it's a lot of blame to go around in this whole situation. Right? More people dropped the ball than picked up the ball and walked it to the hoop. That's all. Yes, respect has to go both ways. And you like fact, right? Agreed. Yes, it goes both ways. And here's the sad part about the star card in the reverse, too. The star card in the reverse is saying that, the things that you want has not happened. Things is coming to an end. I don't know why, but I feel like his mom was damn near preaching. So I feel like, in a way, this was her time to shine, too. But it's not going to happen. And then when it talks about like reconciliation, like I said, it could happen. It's like y'all like cutting ties. It's like you're making something permanent. That's what I'm saying. It's like permanent string cutting, and you're like, damn. And that's what his mama did. His mama picked a side with this Queen of Swords. She didn't cut that swing. That string, basically, like they're mountains apart after that interview. Like they're a whole gap apart. You see her in the back, those mountains. Okay, she's been through a lot this and the third year, but also she's apart. It's sad, really, because I'm like, okay. That's what y'all saying. So what y'all basically saying is that even though this is just the tip of the iceberg of the problem, y'all feel like we just gonna cut each other off. Wow. Okay. So how does Kirk Franklin feel? Is there any guilt on his hands? Like, what's going on with Kirk Franklin? Like, how does he truly feel about his son? Let's get to that. How does Kirk Franklin really? Yeah, they need professional therapy. But how does he really feel about his son? Like, how does he view his son? 1, 2, 3. How does Kirk Franklin view Kerrion? This is past hurt. But here's the thing about this 3 of Swords that's in the reverse. It happened in the past. You can get over it. But that does not mean that you're getting that type of relationship back. So when I said that this is permanent, this is, look, yeah, the hurt was there, the pain happened, but this point we can recover, but we're not going to be, it's not going to be father and son like that. No, it's not that. This is him leaving the situation alone. And with his son, he feels like he wants to leave the situation. I mean, he feels like his son should leave the situation alone with this 4 swords. This is taking a mental break. Okay. He feels like his son is working, okay, mentally, like it's all, he needs to take a break. And then you have the Star card. The Star card shows up in the upright position. That means the stars are still aligned for things can be fine, for people can go to therapy and reconcile, but whatever you want from your son could happen, but it takes effort. It's effort. You say he treats him like old baggage. That's what Christians do who shun you. They treat you like old baggage. He got shunned by his family. Also, he loves his son. Okay. But, okay, the love is still there. But, the way he's set up, the relationship will never be the same. You have the Sun card. This is abundance. This is the advice, right? The advice is, look, this is your son, right? The love is still there. He's not seeing it in that type of way right now. But that's the advice card. What's the influence? The influence is like, look, he gave up on his son. It ain't working out. He gave up on his son. This 2 of Wands in the reverse is not working out. Okay, he's been patient enough. It's not working out. The obstacle is his son, the little boy that's screaming online. The obstacle is his son is being very much so. He feels like his son is being very much so cunning, manipulative, gossipy, plotting on him, things like that, right? And he feels like in the reverse. Now, here's the funny part. Oh, my goodness. Now, here's the funny part. You feel like this, right? Not only that, in the back of this, you have the Knight of Cups. This is coming with an emotional offer. So maybe he'll try to reach out to his son again. But the crazy part, though, with this 5 of Swords in the reverse, okay, it's a few things. I already told you guys that this is a cyberbullying card. Is his son not cyberbullying him? Yes, in a sense, by exposing him online, yeah. And he couldn't do anything about it because everybody's seen it. You can't control that, right? There's something that you cannot control. And he is the Emperor in the reverse. He wants to control stuff. So that's something that he couldn't control. Also, it's like a rotten tooth. That nerve is exposed. It's exposure. Oh, I told y'all this is what he was like. Now this is on both parts now. This is on how he feels his son is, and this is how his son feel like he is. And it's just exposure, right? But then there should be an apology, right? There should be an apology too, right? Down the line. But I just it's like the song of "It's so much distance between us." It's that picking side. Okay, this is the best way I can come up with this. Imagine, you get treated how you treated, how you're not supposed to. When kids go through certain stuff, it causes a rift when they're older. Like I told you about, like my cousins, you know what I mean? And it's like the connection, we missed the connection because they were so busy in the car and they couldn't really hang around us because we were of the world, and so basically as we get older the connection isn't there, even though the love may be there, but the connection isn't there. So we couldn't connect with each other even if we wanted to, because how we gonna connect? What the fuck? Like, I'm not interested in connecting with you, and you're not really interested in connecting with me. You may get married right now, and I guarantee you all your friends from college will be at your wedding, but your cousin won't. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then now I'm just saying it, not saying that I'm bitter about it. I'm just saying it because that's going to be their relationship, like with his siblings, right? And with his father, it's going to be it's a lot. It's like, well, like you said too much. Everybody said too much. People have said too much, right? And people have picked sides. And even if he did have mental illnesses and this, that, and the third, and not only that, he views his son with this Page of Swords in reverse is a child that's acting out, right? And I told you that that's what he was doing, but yeah, because we were of the world, of the world. Yeah, that's true. That was like my cousins. They were saved. So my aunt and uncle didn't stay very long at my family functions, right? Because we were of the world. Yeah, so it's like, I swear to you, I really do feel like 2022 is going to be a lot of people who turn away from religion because of stuff like that. Because it's bogus. And you see what happens. Like, and even if you still believe in Christianity, I believe they're going to turn. Let me get it right. I feel like they're going to turn away from a lot of these congregational churches, like churches. Like, you can still read your Bible. Churches within you. You can be at home reading and studying the word, right? But I feel like them congregating with others like that, I feel like a lot of people are going to stop doing it. Because of things like that. You said exactly. Let me see something. So let's see. Well, Kirk Franklin already said he was molested before, but then this audio comes out of his son saying that Kirk Franklin molested him. So I want to know, did he molest him? Did Kirk Franklin molest his child? Like, was there any validity in what the audio was saying? The audio of him was saying. Let me get it right. The alleged audio of Kerrion saying about that. Is there any validity to it? I don't quite think so. That's messed up. I don't quite think so. I really don't. You know what? Allegedly, right? I don't mean to knock nobody's story, but allegedly, this has more to do with him combating the people that he was talking to. Honestly, with this Empress in the reverse, this talks about somebody being promiscuous, or this talks about somebody not being able to produce their own abundance. I feel like this has more to do with how he was feeling with those two people who recorded him. And I feel like it has more to do with this Princess of Swords. Usually this is this activist speaking out. So this has nothing to do with a man doing that, though. So out of anything, if he was molested by anybody, it would have been a female. Okay? This has nothing to do with a man molesting you. I don't see a man. Don't get me wrong. Do I feel like with this Four of Wands, did he have problems in the home? Yes. But I don't feel like this has anything to do with a man molesting him. And he need to be careful because he might get a lawsuit with that. But this has more to do with him trying to get people to understand him. Because when I look at this home life, this Ten of Cups right here, the influences, his home life was love there. So it wasn't really, if it was in the reverse, I'd say, okay, it was a disruption in the home. But I really don't feel like he was being sexually assaulted by his dad. I don't get it. I don't get why he'll say that. But then if there's like, when I think about it now, it's crazy because I think it's his lifestyle choices, right? I think it could have been drugs on why he was saying that. He wanted to defend himself. When you guys listen to that audio, he was arguing back and forth with the gay guy, right? Because it was I don't mean no harm, but that's how he was introduced as this gay guy. And then there was this female, and they would stand in a hostel. And he was with the female, and he wanted to bun up on the female. But the gay friend was there, and then him and the gay friend get into it, and he kept being called a girl, and it was bothering him. And it's almost like he was the gay guy was trying to emasculate him, but it was so crazy that he kept on saying girl, because now here's the part that gets on my nerve. That gay dude and the girl was talking about him behind his back, talking about him and thinking that he was molested because of how he acts, right? The way he acts out, his aggressiveness and this, that, and the third, right? And him doing drugs and stuff. So they were already in talks about him. So when they got into an argument, he was calling him a female, like girl, and then turning on Kirk Franklin in the background, like stomp, the songs and stuff, to get to him to get a reaction. And then when he got his reaction, that's when he stopped the music and said, I knew it. So basically, they were messing with a mentally ill person that's on drugs. And he said that he has been using that as a way for people to understand him. But do I feel like there was abuse there? There's some type of abuse there. Yeah. but I don't feel like it's from a man. That's what I'm getting. But it's so crazy because I don't feel like it was his dad. But that right there can get you into a whole defamation of character lawsuit. And just to be clear, I'll ask again, okay? Because I'm like, I wanted to really say it was. That's the sad part. And I had to stop myself and I had to think, based on what these cards are telling me, something happened, but it wasn't with his daddy. Let me make sure. Let me ask this. Is Kirk Franklin guilty, just point blank period, of touching his child inappropriately, sexually? 1, 2, 3. No. No. Okay, I got the 6 of Pentacles right here. He's guilty of being selfish and self-centered. Okay, that's what he's guilty about, okay? He ain't touching that child. He ain't touched that child. But he knows his dad been touched before. Do I think that Kirk Franklin may have whipped on his child? Yes. Do I think that Kirk Franklin has made his child feel like he wasn't good enough at times? Yes. And do I feel like his child is lashing out? Yes. But I don't feel like, because it's nothing inappropriate. Like, if I got like the Hierophant in the reverse, I'll definitely say it's inappropriate. The best thing I can tell you is with the Temperance card in the reverse, because the fact that Kirk Franklin made his child feel less than in a way, or did not give his child what he gave his kids that he had with that lady, there's an issue. And I think he has mommy issues. I don't think he likes his mama. You got this Queen of Wands in the reverse right here. That's a big bitch card. There's a female in his life that was a bitch to him. Okay? Very much so. Was taking positions. Okay? That even if she was wrong, she swear to God that she's right. So I feel like out of anything, that could have been made up. Because you have this musician card right here too. But the abuse as in negligence, what is not negligence? What is that called? When you don't pay attention to your child, I feel like that's there. Well, his mama, he doesn't care for. He don't like his mama that much right now either. I mean, he don't. It's the whole dynamic. Really, but based on what his mama was doing online, like, I wouldn't blame him for not really liking his mama like that. Because if your mama wants to satisfy the church and make herself look a certain way and do things for her own selfish reasons, then yeah, I wouldn't like my mama that much either. It's always putting on a show. But I feel like with this Temperance in the reverse, this is overindulgent behaviors. This is being reckless, doing things in the heat of the moment and not caring what nobody says. So I don't feel like, it's not that he beat him. I mean, not beat him. It's not that he M-worked him. He treated him poorly in a way. he wasn't as understanding with him in a way. That's what that was. It's like knowing your kid is a little off, but you're not understanding him, not connecting with him. And you got the Three of Wands in the reverse in the back. And this talks about doing so much stuff for somebody and not getting anything back in return. Like, look, I'm going to help you through this, and I'm going to help you through that. I'm going to help you through school. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. But they won't do it for you. So it can very much mean a lot of things, but it doesn't mean molestation. No, I'm going to just say that it don't. It don't. That's long-winded, but it don't. I don't see that. I see some other things besides molestation. Was he treated poorly in a way? As in, like, he felt like he was left out? Yeah. You're the firstborn with one female. And it probably was before money, before fame. And then you get all this fame and you get all this money and you're looked at as this righteous person for the Lord, and turn around and marry someone else, adopt her daughter, you know what I mean, and then have kids by somebody else, then it's kind of like you got a new family, right? And you have a family that is, in the eyes of the Lord, good, all right? And you have this image, and you have this control, and then you have say-so. You're the one with the money. You're the one with the everything. It's like, I don't think... Oh, what's up, AT2? What's up, boo? But yeah, I think it's him. He's the one with the... It's like... And then you can hear it when it comes to his half-sister. His half-sister is totally fine with how she was brought up. Why? Because that Six of Pentacles wasn't upside down for his half-sister. If you notice it, when I got the Six of Pentacles for his half-sister, it was right side up. Like, she gets what she wants. And with him, it's upside down. Like, he grew up in a whole different function in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a disconnect. I feel like, and then I feel bad for him because I'm like, okay, you might have mental illness, but you're also not being acknowledged. Your pain, your childhood trauma isn't being acknowledged by people. So it's a mixture of both. And it's coming across messed up. But he's how old? Is he like 33 or something like that? I don't know how old he is. But if he's in his 30s, at some point, like, honestly, here's what I'm going to say. At some point, I can't go around blaming everybody else for me. Because at some point, you are an adult. And it is your responsibility. If you really feel like you have to talk to somebody, you have to go to counseling for yourself. Forget your daddy. Who cares at this point? Because your daddy is in his ways. And at this point, he's going to care in whatever way he deems fit. And you have to care about you in whatever way you deem fit. So it's like the little boy in you has to die for the man to live, in a way. So I'm like, you have to keep living. So when your parents pass away, are you going to go to their grave and get upset and mad at them every day and be like, oh, it's because of you that I can't get it right now? And then after a while, it's like it's a small violin, because it's like, well, they passed away. What are you doing for yourself? Why are you not getting the help that you need? If you need to take medicine, why are you not taking it? Who cares about how these Christians feel about you? They were already going to ostracize you anyway. So it's like an open wound that he needs to figure out. Like, hold on. I'm going to go and get some oracle cards real fast, and we're going to wrap this up, because the most I get out of this is trauma, childhood trauma, and feeling like, let me just go ahead and ask, is he jealous? of his dad and new family. Is he jealous? Let's just see that, because it seems like he want to sit at the table that he ain't getting. And if you ain't got to sit at the table by now in your 30s, then you're not gonna have it. Just leave it alone. So, is he jealous? Is there jealousy there? Because I just feel like it. I feel like it is. 1, 2, 3. Is Kerrion jealous of Kirk Franklin's new family? I mean, the family that he made. I mean, the wife, the kids. I mean, his half sisters and brother and everything else. Is he jealous? The 5 of Swords, the Chariot, and the 5 of Wands in the reverse. I feel like Mr. Kerrion can be a little jealous. I feel like, this 5 of Swords upright. First of all, it talks about a defeatism card. It talks about somebody's doing stuff to you. You know what I mean? Like, but people don't know the things that you've been through, things like that. Currently, you have speed bumps in the road. And so it's like the Chariot in the reverse. So it's like you can't get ahead because you have blockages. This talks about the 5 of Wands. This means that, look, y'all all done picked a side that's probably not your side, but the conflict is like in reverse. But this Knight of Wands in the reverse, though. This King of Wands in the reverse. This King of Wands in the reverse says a little bit, don't it? This King of Wands in the reverse, this talks about somebody who's usually on top of his game. This is usually someone who has direction. This is somebody who knows what he wants and knows how to get it, right? In the reverse, no. He's frustrated because he doesn't know what to do. For real, like he's not as successful. Maybe he doesn't have the money to fund this creative pursuit that he wants. All types of things like that. And the thing is, he has to ask Daddy. And now Daddy is upright. All right? So even though Daddy may be whoever he is, I'm starting to think that he wanted some money from Mr. Kirk Franklin too. Right? Because this King of Wands is in the reverse. He has to be a man. And I don't think he's stubborn. I don't think he wants to stand alone. He wants help. But the problem is with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, he's not going to get what he wants from his daddy. Okay, and not only that, he needs structure in his life too, in a way. With this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, he's not going to get what he wants from Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin is not going to give him what he wants. That's what it is. So, what more can I say about that? He's not getting it. He's not getting what he wants. Hello, LG. I feel like he's a bit jealous. And I feel like it's more so he wants stuff. He wants to have a creative pursuit be funded. Okay. He wants the approval. He wants the direction. He wants to learn how to be a man too from his daddy. So he wants his daddy in a nutshell. He wants his daddy. So let me go ahead and get these oracle cards and wrap this up, you guys. Hold on. Give y'all a little bit of oracle and then we bouncing. Okay? So let's get into it. Ooh, I had the selenite stick right here that was inside this bag. I don't know why it was inside this bag, but let's get into the Nature Spirit Oracle, okay? My lovely Native American Oracle deck. And I actually got it because, some of my family members are Native American. And guess what? The lady who did this Oracle deck is Native American. So let's see, what can we give? What can we give for Kerrion? Because I feel like at this point, I don't care. Okay, your daddy did whatever he did to you. Your mommy, look, your mama is already like sucked into the whole flashing lights of gospel and the church and, being funded by his daddy. I mean, at this point, you have to make your own way and it shouldn't even matter. F them. That's how I feel. Denise Lynn, give me some stuff, but your oracle, this is Native Spirit Oracle cards. What can Spirit tell me? What advice can she tell Kerrion? What can Spirit tell Kerrion right now? What is this Native Spirit Oracle deck giving Kerrion right now? Okay. Spirit Keeper of the East. That's what that is. Spirit Keeper of the East. I haven't had that card yet. So let's see. Just based on that, this is the horizon, right? This is the sun, right? This is abundance just over the horizon, right? But while we're looking for this abundance over the horizon, if you look at this card, though, you look at all this, like, vegetation, all this growth, all these things. You have mountains right here. That means you've been through stuff, right? I still get to so much distance, feeling like things are far away. But if you can just embrace the scenery as it is, as in, like, okay, the perfect idea of what you want is over there. Like, the sun is setting, like the sun is all the way up yonder, right? But it's like there's so many things around you that can be looked at as abundant, right? So let me see something. Spirit Keeper of the East. I am so boring when I am just regular, right? Like, oh, but it's cool though. Okay. The card means new beginnings. A fresh cycle is occurring in your life. Wipe the slate clean. Now is the time to release the old and start again. No matter what has happened in the past, it doesn't need to repeat in the future. Basically. That's what I was just saying. I'm like, just let it go, right? Just let that shit go. And enjoy what you have now. Okay? So, that's in a nutshell. But I hope you guys like this reading. You guys, please hit the thumbs up. I'll check you guys out later. Give some positive energy to your loved ones and, Kerrion and even Kirk and his family, eh? But yeah, I'll see you guys again. It's getting late. It's 9:21 and I'm about to bounce. Okay. I love y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Let me do my outro. Y'all. Because I am gone.